Hello, good people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we're so excited to have you again. Nigerians have reacted to the statement made by the presidency as against the EU report. Don't forget that the EU, in its final report, on the 2023 general poll said that the exercise exposed the enduring systematic weaknesses and therefore signal a need for further legal and operational reforms to enhance transparency, inclusiveness, and accountability. And the president's reaction was a wild one that the Nigerians should not look at the report of the EU and consider it right. Why? Because they didn't even have enough people to put in all the 176,000 polling unit as such. It was just an extract from the social media and all of that. Now, Nigerians have talked about it a great deal. I have my colleague in the house. We're going to be looking at what Omokri, who was the former presidential aide to President Jonathan, said. I'm going to tell you in exact word what he wrote on his social media page about the response of the president to the EU report. According to Reno Omokri, he said EU election observers missions report was not so damning. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu missed a big opportunity. He should have done what President Yar'Adua did and accepted that the election which brought him to power were not perfect. Even in America, elections are not perfect, and promised to improve future elections by giving the INEC more independence. If he had done that, he would have been the bigger man. But this knee-jerk reaction made him look small. And what did the EU EOM say that was so bad? They did not cast doubt on his victory. They merely pointed out lapses on the part of INEC, especially their recruitment process and integrity of their technology. The INEC itself has not even devised what the EU EOM said, most likely because it is true. I think the president did not handle this as best he could. A simple I hear you, and though I do not completely agree, I will nonetheless take your observation into account would have been a diplomatic response that would have satisfied everyone. That's what Reno Omokri said the president would have given us a reaction to the EU report. Now, if you were in the shoes of Alake, who is the special advisor to the president on strategy and communication, would you have advised the president to react this way? Or do you think what Alake said was actually the right way, especially taking into consideration that the case is still in court? Don't you think that the lawyers of Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar would have leveraged on that kind of reaction?
They would have pushed on that kind of reaction, which means, literally speaking, that even the government of Bola Tinubu is acknowledging that what brought them in is very flawed. It's own goal. This one is own goal, 1-0. It will not rise.
So, which means what Reno Omokri say is outrightly wrong.
If Reno is looking for a job, we should just quietly go and apply quietly. I say, I can do this job very well. I've been doing this issue of media presidency before, not this one. This can work if the process that brought him in is not being heavily contested. I'm talking about heavily contested. Almost PDP is contested, Labour Party is contested, Nigerians are screaming. And you're not saying, well, actually, it is true. What brought us in is flawed. But however, we'll look into it in next election. Which in next election, when the case is a call, they say, stand up from there, it's not your seat. So I think what they did right now was a case of being aggressive about the ownership. In Nigeria here, like what he said, if you grab it, run with it.
Yes.
So he has said if you grab it, run with it. He knows what is at stake. This is African democracy, African election. When you hold it, don't let it go. Hold it till your 4 years is over. But if you want to go by what Reno is saying, it's when it is not in court, Nigerians have accepted their fate and they have said, okay, let's just move on. 4 years is just by the corner. We'll wait it out. They have not moved on. Some people have not still congratulated Mr. President.
Yeah.
Some people have not even
accepted him.
Some have not even called him Mr. President.
Some have refused to even put his picture in their offices.
Even though they are very diplomatic about it, even Mr.
I'm
even
talking about some businesses. I've entered a lot of business places, and you won't see his pictures there because some of them believe we're so sure that this man is going to leave that position, whether he likes it or not. You
Do you
understand?
understand? And to make matters interesting, even the person of Tinubu, I'm sorry, Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi have yet to call and congratulated him.
Yeah.
Afenifere have not still done the same thing.
Okay.
Even Chief Olusegun Obasanjo have not. You see some pickets here and there who have really not acknowledged him to still believe that something is at the pipeline. A whole lot of people are just waiting to hear the final verdict for them to know whether they'll move on or not. If you ask me, that kind of very nice statement is nice when Nigerians have moved. Nigerians have not moved on. If you go on social media platforms, keep hearing things like Peter Obi is coming, and let's say all eyes on the judiciary, and you now want to use, they will just use that fact. That now, be careful what you say. The next case you will see now, you just see Peter Obi lawyer to just download that video and keep and say we are exhibit 1. The one where even the government, their media person, the president said that it is flawed.
Yeah.
So, what are you saying?
Yeah.
So, in this kind of, you have to be very diplomatic. Even if they will say it is you, you will not be the one to say that it's me.
Exactly.
And so, that is diplomatic, is nice, but not in this case, where all eyes are on the judiciary.
All right. Now, looking at the situation on ground and what the EU has said, do you think it will go an extra mile in strengthening the legal team of Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar? Don't forget that the EU have reported a lot of things, and most of them kind of reflected on the weaknesses of INEC in the execution of their duties, and also showed that there was some level of lack of inclusiveness in the whole show. Do you think that can be leveraged on by the legal team of Peter Obi in subduing the INEC, looking at the shaky start of their defense?
It has strengthened them a great deal. The truth be told, even the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if you notice, their media team are working tirelessly to debunk that EU report. They're doing all they can. That clearly shows you, even if he's called Mr. President, they now have an idea that the international community really do not see him in that light. Even though he's Mr. President, but the process that brought you in is flawed, but maybe Nigerians are okay with it, but this is it. And for that, which means they need, anyhow they need to get it done. They want that impression erased, that you are the one saying it. If we say that the election was properly done, was the best since 1999, and different persons have been saying it is flawed, it is this, like up till now, some Nigerians are still screaming that up till now, the election results, the presidential, is yet to be fully uploaded 5 months after. Frank Shaibu is saying that how credible would such an election be, that up till now, something that should be digital, up till now, it has not been uploaded fully. Is that election truly credible? So these are questions that beg for answers. It has nothing to do with the fact that you're in a political party or of any kind. It has to do with facts and figures speaking for themselves.
All right. Thank you so much. I think that's where we're going to leave it. Go to our comment section. If you were in the shoes of Alake, would you have regretted making the statement you made and thinking of adopting what Reno or Omokri said? Let's let's comment on